Larry Watson here. And today we're talking about goals and succeeding at achieving our goals. The thing is that most of us, we have a challenge actually getting to our goals, and there are reasons for that. So that's what this video is about. In the last video, we talked about the most important element, the why of your goal. Why do you want it? That's really important, because if we're using external reasons, the whys are outside of ourselves, it's not likely to happen. The other key element that's important to understand is the why not. Now, I know it sounds strange, but there are actually subconscious reasons that we are in the place we're at, that we haven't achieved our goals, that there are obstacles that we create for ourselves, but we need to understand what those why not is. What is that that's keeping us from that? We need to understand the core values that we have to align with. If we're not aligned with them, we will be our own worst enemy. And we want to understand that there are these 5 tests to know that this is a goal that's important, that has purpose, and that when we have that sense of purpose, we will actually accomplish those goals. Today, we want to talk about succeeding at our goals. Now, that involves creating strategies and steps and milestones. We need to understand that if we want to get where we want to go, we need to lay out the steps. We need to understand how to get there. First of all, we need to know what it is the goal is. And what helps us understand that is what are called SMART goals. Now, yes, they're about our intelligence, but more importantly, the SMART is an anagram. It means specific, measurable, attainable, accountable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific. If we don't know what it is that we're after, how will we know we got it when we got it? We need to understand what exactly we want. If somebody says, I want more money, well, how much more? Can you ever attain enough money if I just say, I want more money? That's not specific. It has to be measurable. That's the amount. How much is it? Where do we want to go? For a business person, they need to understand, if I want more clients, how many more clients? We need to be specific so we can start on the path to get there. If we don't know where the track is leading, it'll just wander off into the woods. We need to know the specifics, the measurable. And is it attainable? Now, sometimes we get into this idea of setting goals, and is it attainable? If somebody says, I want to make $30 million next year, well, that's fine. That's a really great goal. Except if they made $30,000 this year, that might be not considered an attainable goal. Accountable. That's why these SMART goals work. We can be accountable to ourselves. Now, it's great. It's really helpful. And it's much more successful if you have someone that you can be accountable with. 2, that you can say, here's what I got done this week. That's a really helpful. It's amazing the progress that can be made when you have an accountability, a believability partner. Relevant. Well, sometimes we create goals that are not really our own. We do them because we think we should. Or somebody said something. We say, hey, maybe I should go for that. Maybe I should. If there's a should in the sentence, if there's a should in your goal, then it's probably not relevant to you. If there's a strong desire, a really big want to it, there's a why that's really driving it, that is a goal that you can attain. The shoulds don't usually work. Just like in the other video I talked about, money is rarely a motivator. It's what money can get you. But shoulds are rarely a motivator. They rarely work. It should. This is something people should do. That's not usually going to work for us. And T is for time bound. We need to give ourselves a frame of time within which we're interested in achieving that goal. Now this is a challenging part because a lot of times our 2015 goals are within a year. We want to say by the end of the year, here's where I want to be. And that's important to get there, to know what that is. And a year is such a long time that we have a tendency to say, well, I've got a whole year to do that, so I didn't quite get my goal to this month. We need to look at the monthly goals, weekly goals, even daily goals. If you don't have a daily goal for exercise, how are you going to get there? If I have even a weekly goal and I say 3 times a week, well, does that mean the last 3 days of the week? Which days? Time bound. Time bound allows us to actually accomplish and succeed at achieving our goals. And this is an important part of understanding the process. We need to be motivated throughout the process. We need to understand success is not the end point necessarily, although that's part of it. Success is all the steps that lead up to it. As we're accomplishing each step, we are succeeding. That is success. We don't have to wait for the end point to say, I succeeded, I am successful. We don't have to. It's in every single step that we take. And that's why with my clients, I use this bell to help them celebrate what it is that they wanted to accomplish. And then when they did accomplish it, we want to reinforce that experience. We want to reinforce the activity of achieving our goals. We want to rewire the brain, because the brain is designed to be negative. There's the amygdala that's kind of the gatekeeper to our frontal cortex. Our frontal cortex is where the higher decisions and the higher thinking, the higher emotions are located. And the amygdala is where the flight, fight, or freeze instinct is located, the survival, the fearful part of us, and it has a tendency to block off this part. So we need to reinforce the frontal cortex with celebration of every little piece of success, every little piece. And that's what I do with my clients. And you need to do that for yourself. Otherwise, the engine runs out of gas. I talked about the analogy of the train. When our why in our zone of genius is the engine of a train with pulling this long row of cars that weigh tons and tons and tons, if that engine runs out of steam, where does it go? We need to keep the engine running by celebrating every little milestone. We need to break it down into milestones so that we feel that success, we feel that celebration, we feel that elation, that we are actually achieving our goals. This is what we need to do in order to be successful at achieving our goals. So next the video, we'll be talking about the law of attraction. Now, it's a metaphysical law, it's a quantum physics law, it's a law of the universe. It's just the way things work. You've experienced it. You have experienced it. And we will now put it to work for us. We will use that key to get the engine started. So until next time, success to you all. And I'm Larry Watson, your Inspired Results Coach.